Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to a brand new Breakout Solutions live stream. I'm your host, Matt Batiri, here with my dog Ace, going nuts in the house. Of course, the timing couldn't be perfect whilst I'm about to start this live stream. So without further ado, let's dive straight into the Bitcoin chart. So let me adjust my screen so you guys can see this a little bit better. Perfect. There we are. And I've been speaking about Bitcoin hitting the golden pocket ad nauseum for the past months because basically the price action was going towards there, and Bitcoin's been known to obviously have a rejection, usually from the golden pocket or the 786 Fibonacci retracement. And we've hit that golden pocket, and since dropping, we've obviously come back down 17 or so percent. So where to next, and what is in store with Bitcoin over the next couple of months? Well, usually looking at the past, it can tell us a lot about the future. So if you have been watching some of my previous streams, we've talked about the previous halvings, and what normally happens leading into the halving is usually some sideways consolidation. The only time that wasn't really true was the last one, just purely for the fact that we had the COVID dump. All right, so we had this COVID dump right here. That was caused because of, obviously COVID. So what I think would have actually happened in the price action is we would have probably chopped around here for a little bit of time. And then finally had our exponential bull market. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. We sort of had this black swan event. So right now, a lot of people are sort of somewhat bearish to the Bitcoin price. They do believe that we are due for a correction, and we've already had one. We've had an 18% correction. Are we going to get more violent corrections? Well, I covered this in my stream last week, where now that we have institutional investors that invest in stocks like the S&P, which is a very stable asset. If you look at the history of the S&P or, stocks like NASDAQ, they have very slow grinders to the upside. We don't have huge retracements. And when you see a huge retracement, it's usually not that big, 12%. 12% is a sneeze on the Bitcoin price in a day. 20%, that's a little bit larger. This is obviously the COVID dump where they lost 35%. That was probably close to Black Wednesday, I think it's called. Sort of what occurred back in, the .com bubble area or the GFC. This was the GFC, as we can see, very choppy stuff. But apart from the choppiness from, huge mistakes done by governments and all that type of stuff, you normally tend to see the price action be just slowly grinding to the upside. So I think that maybe Bitcoin may do the same thing moving forward, and we're not going to get such huge swings to the downside. Maybe it will mimic something like the S&P more frequently and have smaller pullbacks like what we're incurring right now. But let's just say Bitcoin was to have a larger pullback. Where am I sort of looking at? Well, I'm basically looking at best case scenario, and the cheapest you'll probably get Bitcoin for the next 2 years is the $31,000 to $32,000 level. I think if we are blessed with getting a price coming down that low, it's going to be, the best last buy the dip opportunity before we have the exponential bull market occur later on this year. In the more sort of near term, where am I going to start dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin? Well, basically in this zone right here, so just below $40,400 to $39,000. I think this is a good buy the dip opportunity for Bitcoin because this was the CME gap a couple of months ago, just at the early part of December. So normally Bitcoin likes to fill these CME gaps, and we have a CME gap right here. So I do think that we should get a reaction from here, and then it's going to test out the bulls to see if we make a higher high, or does it become a macro lower high, something like this, where we hit the 618 Fibonacci retracement, something like this. Price action comes up here. Whoops, where's my draw up? Price action comes up here to about 46 best case scenario, and then we just start making these lower highs right up until April, where we have the catalyst for the bull market, the Bitcoin halving. So normally leading up to this price action, Bitcoin will just chop around, okay? And then we'll finally have the Bitcoin halving. We normally have miners capitulate at this time, so we might have a little bit of a sell-off after the halving, and then we finally start our grind up to the exponential bull market. So I'm expecting something like this. So any sort of major pullback over 10%, I'm personally buying because I think it's a great opportunity. Anything more than 10%, I think is an absolute steal. And right now, not only is the Bitcoin market pulling back, but also the altcoin market is, bleeding a little bit. Now, if you were to chart Bitcoin against if you were to chart most altcoins against Bitcoin, anyways, the blue chip ones, they're going to outperform Bitcoin over the next 12 to 18 months, right? So Bitcoin's return from here is usually going to be only about a 3 to 4x return, but you've got some really good projects that will outperform that return on investment. A few off the top of my head, Solana, Ethereum, Matic, just some of those really simple layer one projects, they're easily going to outdo Bitcoin's return on investment. They may not be as safe in the long term, but short-term projections look good for those tokens. So if you're wanting to get the best bang for your buck, it's obviously in altcoins. And right now, if Bitcoin dominance does move to the upside, which it looks like it's fighting, we've got some bullish divergences on the 8 hours. Okay, so we made a lower low in price, lower low in percentage, and we made a higher low on the on the RSI. Okay, and not that one, this one right here on the RSI, we've made a higher low on the RSI. So that is a bullish divergence. So we could see price action for Bitcoin move up whilst maybe altcoins bleed a little bit. But I think over the long term and the next 12 to 18 months, we should see dominance start coming down with liquidity following the altcoins because that's what most investors want. They want their best bang for their buck, and they'll chase those gains through the altcoins available to them. So that's pretty much it. My prediction over the next, like I said, day or so, or this week, anyways, is more than likely try and sweep the lows here. So getting something below $40,000 or thereabouts, $40,000, and then having a bit of a Bitcoin bounce to the upside, and then cat and mouse. Do we have a lower high? Or do we start pushing through, maybe hit $50,000, fake it from out, and then dump to prices? A few options, but that's what I'm looking at in the short term. Guys, thank you so much for watching today's stream. If you like today's content, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. And if you've got your own ideas, make sure you comment below, and I'll send you I'll reply to your comment. Lastly, if you are interested in checking out one of our amazing events, we have one on tomorrow night, the Future of Money. It is the first one for the year. It has got so much better and new information than 2023 because a lot has changed whilst we've had this break. We've had 2 months off, so the crypto market does not stop, even though we had a little bit of a holiday break. So come and learn everything that is coming to the crypto space in 2024. We can't wait to share with you guys so many new ideas, investment opportunities, and also where we think the future of cryptocurrency and the blockchain industry is going. So check out that website, register yourself, and we'll see you tomorrow night, Australian time. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye for now.